What is up, Octo Nation? It is Charlie. I wanted to prep y'all for the market tomorrow, and I found this GIF, and I thought this was a good way to try and look at yourself for at least the coming week. It all includes an alligator, okay? So what's the deal about them, man? They're slow, they're silent, they sit back, they lurk. They wait for something to be perfect, the perfect opportunity, then they will strike. You can see here, things might try to come in your way and say, look at me, get me, get me. But he's still not going to take it unless he totally believes in it. Okay, this is kind of what I want everyone to try to act like I'm actually going to strive for this next week because, stuff's tempting, right? A lot of stuff is on sale. Now, I don't think it's just the right time to back the truck up yet. So until we get a little bit more consolidation in the market, I don't know if it's too safe of a bet to just jump all the way in right now. So we're going to take an opportunity to take a look at some random plays here and just try to set you guys up, just give you some things to pay attention to tomorrow and just look over. First one I just randomly clicked on and I instantly thought, well, I got to draw a line there for you guys. I know nothing about this, okay? This is Big C, ticker BIGC. This is Big Commerce Holdings. I believe this is a new IPO that happened. Correct me if I'm totally wrong, but I believe this is kind of like a Shopify thing, something to do with big commerce online is what I'm thinking it is. Now, did anyone go and watch my video that I put out this weekend of how to chart? Have you guys been using that? Is it helping out? What charts or lines have you found? Anything cool? Please let me know in the comments. But right now, we've got a board that we can slap right on top of a table right there. And we are actually above it because it hit it right here, hit it again, and then it hit it again here. But look at what happened at the end of the day last week. We broke above it. This is very, very crucial. So now we're going to make this red because we don't want to go below that anymore. So the reason I'm bringing this up is if you're into this big commerce, I'm sure a lot of you are kind of looking around or maybe already are in this or whatnot, trying to play it. Just pay attention to this line right here we have at 103.57. I have a feeling that tomorrow things are going to open up. They're going to go up quite a bit because you're going to have these market buyers coming in. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have another decent kind of correction kind of happen tomorrow. So just be slow and steady with it. Don't think you got to jump in the second the market opens to grab stuff. Now, could this open up tomorrow and hit 300 tomorrow? Maybe, but probably not. You might miss out on a little bit, but you're better off waiting for a total confirmation to get in. I don't really see anything else holding this back is the deal. There's no other lines, no other boards I can throw across more than one line. Anywhere you look. Nope. I mean, maybe right there we could throw one in. Let's throw one in right here. Because it got hit once, twice, maybe three times. Right about 129. But look at this gap. So we've got as long as it stays above 103, we still should stay in this channel all the way up to 129. So just pay attention to this. If it goes up, it could go up a little bit, and then people are going to just mass sell. It'll probably end up in this channel, come back to about where this came, and start bouncing around here, maybe come and tag this line again, and then come back up. This would be the prime opportunity to probably buy in on this if you're looking for big commerce. Let's take a look at another one that everyone's looking at is NEO. This to me looks like probably a decent time to get in. Remember I've told you before that a lot of gaps always get filled again. Well, we had this gap up. Remember when we were just shooting all the way up to 20, like just going crazy there? Well, and then we got this is called basically a double top here when you have the McDonald's we've talked about. And then once you get below the arch here, the middle arch, again on the second leg, that usually completes it, and then it's either going to break total bear and go way south and terminate, or it's going to do then recorrect, consolidate, and then zip back up. So we have come down, hit this, we're above it now. We can definitely draw a line here. Always draw it before because you might accidentally hit it again and be able to use it for a more powerful thesis. It really only hit once, I can tell here. But still is definitely used. You can draw another one there if you want. But right now, where are we at? I mean, we had the gap. Let's draw this gap line here. The gap line here is at 1786. We ended at 1796. So as long as we stay above 1786, we're probably going to be good. We're probably going to be good. I don't even know how strong this 1868 is here. What, I got tagged once, twice. I'm just going to delete this one for now. I think if anything, you could be at 1856 because it did use once, but I mean, nothing too strong, right? So we should be able to start getting up closer to the 1985 again. Do I think this is a prime place to entry? Maybe not prime. I think it would have been better, if you could enter in this gap here. Like I said, I think we're going to go up on a lot of stuff and then come back down. It's probably going to tag in here, and that's probably where I would like to be a buyer. I'm changing my my way a little bit. I'm getting more and more conservative the more we get closer to election with my buying. I'm really only going to be getting in stuff if it's cheap. If I look at something, I know I want it, I know it's rock solid, and it's cheap, I'm going to be a buyer. If it doesn't hit all those, I'm not, okay? But just pay attention to these lines here. Like I said, if we can stay in here and get close to 19, it should be going to 1985, but in here, I would be a buyer if you are, but again, don't be afraid. Just hold on it. Let's take a look at GP. This is that GreenPower. This thing has just been beat up since it launched that verse here and got on the Nasdaq. It's just been beat up. What does it look like now? Well, it looks like it just kept going down, and now it's just consolidating. There's not much we can draw from here. I could go back and get other price points, but this does look like it's starting to get into bull. Okay, a bull right up. If you are super long in here, I mean, this is like what, 50% down, yeah, from where it was. So this might be a decent place to enter. I think that this is probably going to start legging up unless tech absolutely gets destroyed again in the next week. I don't see this thing getting much lower because, what we're at 3, so that means this is technically trading about $1.50 of where it was before. There was a lot of consolidation and strongness around that area, I believe. So, I don't know. I'd still definitely wait for this to get above, try to get to 15 or something, but consolidate a little bit more. It technically is sitting in a decent channel here. If we're going to draw one from the top for sure. Let's see if we can draw one all the way from here. Almost. So we can make this one green. And you could definitely draw a line below it. So we have a complete channel here. Going to make this one red. See, it's sitting in this burrito here. Sitting in this burrito, and it's kind of going into a triangle here, like a pendant. And it's getting tight, so it should break above this green and then start heading north. And again, remember the 1760 that we carried over from the last chart is important, so just watch that. If you do get in, just watch 1760. Follow your stop loss up and protect it. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla here, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing, but I saw another line here that's really important, and I was like, I would love to be a buyer down here. Okay. Let's go ahead and draw it right about there. So it was used here, it was used way back here a couple times. You kind of had a little slight gap there. You do have a gap here, though, that we should definitely draw because it was used more than once, too. Be aware of this. But regardless, we're sitting in this channel right around 420. Again, it could probably gap up and try to get to like 430 or something. If it comes back down and it breaks this 411, it could be headed down to 371. If it gets down to 371 again or anywhere kind of close in here, 380, 390, somewhere around there, I'd probably come close to becoming a buyer on this. I never thought I'd be buying in Tesla, but I think it's a decent time to be getting in again, even though it's had an 80% run the last week it was up or something. I still think it is what it is, and people are now staring at the big price points of 400 and 500. People want to hit that 500 again, topper up here. So will we see 500 by the end of the year? I think we probably will. I think we'll definitely hit 450, decently soon. But again, I would like to see this kind of come up, maybe gap down again. But again, just use your opinion on it. Form a thesis through your lines, though, not just on your gut random feeling. Okay, at least draw them in and give yourself some sort of reason. I have another line there at 470 we could try to hit if you're jumping in. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY, what's going on? We just had this basically massive double knife headed down. Real nasty. We had a nice rally up, but it started coming back down again. I would like to see this thing chill out a little bit before I start really buying anything. It needs to consolidate, because this is super bull up, gapping up like crazy, and then just knifed all the way up. Then it knifed all the way down, went up, came back down a little bit. I'd like to see us consolidate a little bit. We're still sitting, though, in this line, in this channel about 340 up to 345. We'll probably try to stay in this for a while. If we do, it'd be nice. I'd like to see us get into some sort of like bull triangle, and then we can maybe look for an entry or at least get some positive news of what's really going on with the SPY. Because right now, this is kind of in the question mark land. Like, really, we don't know what's going to happen, okay? And remember, this is a lot of the market here. We're still sitting at all-time highs, though, which is great. We're still sitting above the last big gap up also, which is great. So technically it's in bull, but just look at that. I mean, that's aggressive. I'd like to see it get up and just consolidate and just coil up a little bit. So the thesis on that overall market, it's sketchy. So just mind it. The QQQ, it's basically the same story. This is getting closer to the center of this channel. If this keeps kind of going up and starts this 45-degree thing up this channel, then that is perfect. That's what we want to see up this channel here. If we can keep this exact angle about 45 degrees up on QQQ, then fantastic. News on Tesla, though. I'm sure you guys know that are Tesla fanatics, but they did not get included in the S&P 500, so it could see a correction. And again, which would be fantastic because that's going to open up some buying opportunities. So keep that in mind. I know Etsy was included into the SPY, and two other companies. I have no idea what they are, but keep that in mind because SPY, that will, I think, help SPY out at least with Etsy because people know what Etsy is, and I think that'll help that out for sure. Let's take a look at the VIX. So the VIX actually went down 8.5% last, which is great. This is the volatility when people are freaking out mode. Okay, so watch this. I still think it's more important to look at the lines where we were at before, but still watch this. I think it's probably going to do the same thing, consolidate. I think this will kind of go down. I really think macro picture, we're going to see some more rallying going up till November at least. DXY, let's look at the dollar. So, I've pointed this out, but this did break this channel that we've been surfing for a long time down. It broke this crucial channel here, okay? This is not really good. It is giving us some more lines, though, that we could draw. Let's see. Let's throw something in like that. Throw a board on top of that. I would watch for that right there, which is going to be about $93. As long as we can stay below, let's say like $94, we should be good to go. It's probably going to then come down to this channel and then create another wedge, but go the opposite way. If we can get back into this original channel though here with the red, and the red and this solid green here, even better. I hope we get back into here about $92. If so, we'll definitely see the precious metals again keep going up. But this does look like it's starting to form an upward trend. So watch that, pay attention to that, especially if you're getting into gold and silver right now. Wait till we see what happens with this. Just wait a little bit. The TLT, the bonds, is still tripping me out, which was helping me on my thesis that I think everything's actually okay because still no one's really going to these. They're still just sitting around the 1637, not really doing much. I'd be cautious buying into these though right now. I'd be very cautious. Let's take a look at. Let's go down to the other commodities. Let's go to Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin is still chilling bull. This is bull territory straight up. Yeah, this broke this massive line here. We created another one off this line here that came down. I think we're going to be in this channel. I think this is a decent entry point for all things Bitcoin. I'm not saying go buy a Bitcoin. I'm not saying jump into this, buy this tomorrow. I'm never saying about anything. But if you're looking to get into something related to the space, such as Mara or Riot or any of the other things out there, this looks like a decent place to get in. It broke out of here, which is super bull, came up, dropped back down, but now it's doing a consolidation dance. This is sitting on the weekly. If this does get down, drop back down, this could get down to 8,700, 8,700. If it does, watch it, because it could break all the way down to probably like 4,000. I don't see that happening, right? It might come do a little like a bull fake out and come down and hit this and go like a little bit over and then fake everyone out, consolidate, and then just zip all the way up. Could do that. If it starts doing something like that, I might look at buying a little bit more of Mara or possibly getting into Riot. Right now, I'm currently just in Mara. That is the guys who are basically producing this stuff. If you haven't seen my videos on that, check them out. But I still think we're definitely sitting just straight bull territory. You can't deny that, okay? We could draw another pendant here too. Let's go ahead and do it. Can we? Coming off of this? Something like that. So you just got kind of this wedge going on. You could probably draw another one off what just happened, but these major lines here is what you need to pay attention to. We could probably draw right off the top of these. Yeah, look at that. Let's draw a horizontal real quick. Okay, so pay attention to that one. This was used back here, possibly way back in the day, back in here somewhere from the weekly. It's kind of hard to tell, but definitely is used here, and then we tagged it twice and got rejected the last time. So if we can break that, the 12,362, dude, it's going north, okay? I still think we'll hit all-time highs on this for sure. By the end of the year, maybe. I think it's definitely got a long way to run, though, especially since like gold and stuff has hit all-time highs. I could definitely see this getting up close to there, at least around 16. I don't see why not. There's another line there we could probably hit, about 1450. So just pay attention. Silver, we've had this big run up, but where are we sitting? Kind of the same. Well, we had this big pendant that we drew in. It broke the bull. Dolly did the fake out, but look where it stopped. You see this line? This horizontal line? It surfed that all the way down. You see that? It literally tagged it like 8 times on the weekly, or 1 hour here, but all the way down, the perfect 45-degree angle. Then it's at this consolidation. I mean, this looks straight bull. This technically is probably going to break north. This is live right now. This is going. This started here, so far it's literally just consolidating, which is good. Make it tight, get it tight, fine, that's cool with me. The tighter it gets, the harder it breaks, either north or south, and I'll take the gamble. You might have something like this, which is kind of like a bull flag. Okay, this could come down and get to like 1620. Come down and get 1620. If it does, fantastic. Let's just keep getting this tighter. And like I said, the tighter this gets, the harder it will finally. It could ride this all the way down to like $25. If it does, dude, let's get going. We need to get to all-time highs on this baby. Gold still sitting at all-time highs. It kind of just looks like silver. It's the same thing. We could totally draw a pendant on this. Something like that. Something in here for sure. Yeah, it's just like silver. We could draw another pendant. It broke north. It came down. It's doing exactly. It looks exactly like the silver. So thesis stands the same. In fact, even the horizontals look about the same also. With this, if it gets below 1915, you might want to be paying attention. Maybe 1900. Again, we can draw in probably this bull flaggy thing here, and it could get all the way down to maybe, 1799, 1800. I don't know if I see that happening. I see it getting tighter in this channel here. I could totally see that, just like silver and then breaking north. But you never know. It could knife down. But again, if it touches that, then that's an excellent buying opportunity there too. So what do y'all think? Okay, now I'm going to get into, just some plays. And again, take this with a grain of salt. This is what I am looking at for tomorrow. This does not mean go buy these whatsoever. But these are, I think, priced right, timed right, things I'm looking at possibly picking up tomorrow or possibly next week. First one, CGRO warrants. This is a hip play. It's not related. It's not going the same direction as most of the MJ plays at all. This is more like used as a commodity for building stuff like industrial, because like BMWs, a lot of them are actually made out of this stuff. I don't want to talk about it too much because YouTube doesn't like talking about this, but Google CGRO ticker, it's a SPAC, and read up about it and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. JWS, this is Jaws. If you have not seen my video on that, go watch it. I have bought and sold these before and the warrants, but I think it's a good time to pick up the commons. Trine, TRNE ticker. I am looking at the warrants. Those look like a buyable thing for me right now. That's the 3D printer. I found out that like Ford and all sorts of other big names are actually using it too. I did a little bit more research on it. So I think this is cool. In fact, I would love to own one. Metal 3D printer, make some cool stuff. Next one is FVAC. I'm looking at the warrants. This is that California miner that's making those the battery metals, like the neodymium magnets and stuff that basically all electronic vehicles need to work. So this is something, it's a depleting asset, so it's an appreciative asset with that. And I like this play. This is actually, these are, I think, all SPACs here. Okay. SOAC, SOAC. I'm looking at the commons. The warrants had a good ride last week. I think they're sitting about $1.70-ish. It's getting a little high for my blood right now. The commons, you're basically almost sitting near the floor, so stupid dumb buy to park some money. DFNS, if you haven't seen my video on that, go watch that. I'm looking at the commons. SBE warrants. If you haven't seen, I've talked about that before. I already have the commons, but it's time, I think, to dip into the warrants. HYAC, I have not talked about this. No one is talking about this one. I'll probably do a video on it. I am looking at the commons on this. This is a gas station convenience store play. The warrants are correctly priced. However, I just don't know if it will catch attention and run. I don't know if it's going to have the love from the rest of everyone. I am jacked about it, but will everyone else? That's my question. GSAHW, that is Goldman Sachs. His units, his SPAC split, his warrants are now available. I think it's a decent time to pick these up. They are priced slightly high for warrants, but it's Goldman Sachs, all right? I think they're about $2, but I think that these things are going to do pretty darn well no matter what. It's Goldman Sachs. RMG, talked about that a bunch. That's energy, chemical, etc. What are we doing with this? I'm looking at getting the commons. I think it's a good time to buy the commons on there. I think the warrant's a little bit too high for my blood. This one is releasing tomorrow, or I think it did Friday. DEH. I haven't talked about this one yet. The warrants is what I'm looking at. These are cheap right now. This just got released. The dudes in here are like super heavy retail, Estee Lauder, Macy's, Nautica. Like they brought these up and were CEOs of those companies. Massive. Anyways, they're looking for some like consumer retail thing to bring to market. I think this one's totally under the radar. No one's talking about it. I think this one's rad. I could do a video on that one too. I'm also looking to sell my workhorse commons. If you watch my video, I think it was on Friday, I told you I actually had some calls and I let those turn into shares. And I think that I need to sell them and maybe buy some calls instead. So I think that's what I'm going to do, but who knows? Again, this is all just maybe stuff if all the stars align up correctly. I've got a bunch of other videos always in the pipe. If you guys have any other things that you want me to talk about, please give me the tickers and write a quick little blurb about why you think we should get them done. I'm trying to keep up on all the comments and everything, but honestly, I'm having trouble keeping up on everything. So I promise I'm trying. It's not that I don't love you guys, but I only have so much time in the day, and I appreciate everyone, and good luck tomorrow, but be safe, but let's always multiply.